What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's having a great day, and welcome to a brand new episode of Movie Night with Zach. Holidays are over. It's time to get back on schedule, back on my normal schedule. I have everything planned out, what I want to do as far as like figure reviews and Movie Night with Zach, and discussion and review. I let you guys pick what I'm going to do with Movie Night with Zach, except today I'm picking, because I haven't got to pick yet. So I wanted to pick a movie that I owned on DVD that I have not ever seen, that I have wanted to see forever. That being The Twilight Zone, the movie. Now, the way I feel about the TV show, I adore every episode of The Twilight Zone. I think it's a masterpiece of a show. However, when it comes to this thing, I have heard very, very mixed things about this movie. I've heard people say it's really good and pays good respect to its source material. I have also heard that it does not pay good respect to its source material. And these are other people's words, not mine. And that I should not rush out to watch it. And I've even had a guy that I worked with at a past job that said that this is the worst thing that's ever been committed to film. Now, I don't believe that because I've already seen the worst thing committed to film in August Underground's Mortem, where that reigns champion as the worst movie I've ever seen. Hellraiser Judgment actually reigns as the champion for the best movie I've ever seen on this series. So, I kind of hope that this thing takes the championship from Hellraiser Judgment. So, I really don't know much about it other than it seems to me that it adapts episodes of The Twilight Zone from the TV show to this movie, and from my understanding, it's different directors on each episode. So this is probably going to be more like an anthology movie, which is basically what the TV show is. So, I guess I'm going to stop running my mouth now, and we're going to go ahead and get into the movie. So, I guess I'm going to go ahead and hit the play button, and I'll let you guys know how I feel during the movie. Well, we're starting off pretty well. I like the choice of music. This is an awesome song. I really like this song. We're off to a good start so far. Well, I was not expecting that. Phew, that took me by surprise. Wow. So I'm liking this so far. I actually don't remember if this was an episode of Twilight Zone or not. I don't remember this one, but this dude comes here, says this bar, says all this racist stuff, and now his bigotry is getting flipped around on him, and it's kind of satisfying, not gonna lie. I think the one that finds it a little strange that the KKK is so hell-bent on trying to hang a white man. Like, the KKK are pieces of garbage, but I didn't know they were known to hang white people. It's just very very strange. I don't know if they're going for historical accuracy here or not, but definitely is a little sketchy. I just want to say there's a lot of tension here between the python swimming up to him, and you don't know what the fuck's about to... I just want to go ahead and mention, I'm really digging this movie so far. A lot. So now it feels more like a daycare center than it does an elderly person's home. So I'm halfway through the... I don't know how far I am actually into the second story, but this one's not doing it for me as much as the first one, I will say.
Maybe if you old folks had a little bit of magic.
I don't know, it's just... I find myself getting bored of this second story. I'm really struggling with this one, guys. I'm ready to move on to the next story already. I'm struggling with this one, guys. I'm finding this very boring. This is nowhere near as good as the first story. This doesn't just, I don't know. This is not really in the spirit of the Twilight Zone. This is not what I would have expected when I thought about when I would think of watching a movie about the Twilight Zone. This just doesn't have that spirit. And I'm finding it very disappointing right now. Alright, well, that second story was rough. I actually felt like dozing off a little bit. Maybe this next one will be better. Hope to God, because I did not like that second one. Well, I must say that this next one is much more engaging than the last one. The biggest drawback being that the last one was directed by Steven Spielberg, and it didn't feel like he put in any effort into it whatsoever. This next story is much better. Much, much better. So far. I'm also actually more familiar with this episode. Credit where credit is due as well. This feels more like Twilight Zone than the last story did. Much more like Twilight Zone. I'm much happier with this story. Well, this movie is committing a cardinal sin right now. It's taking probably the most iconic episode of the Twilight Zone, which was very tense and had lots and lots of tension building throughout the episode, and it's making it not tense. It just doesn't... This doesn't feel right. Something here just feels off from the TV show. And there's the goblin on the side of the wing. It's just lacking... It's lacking that tension that the episode of the TV show had. Alright guys, well, I just finished the Twilight Zone movie, and to be honest with you guys, I was not a fan of the movie. But I did enjoy segments 1, and I enjoyed segments 3. I did not enjoy segment 2 or segment 4, and it hurts me to say that I didn't enjoy segment 2 because it was directed by Steven Spielberg, who's my favorite filmmaker of all time, and just to me, it didn't really... It felt like he put in about 5% effort out of 100. I was not into that segment of the movie, and I was not into the fourth segment of the movie, because I felt like it took an iconic episode of the Twilight Zone that was full of tension and the sense of dread, and I just didn't get the feeling of it in this version of that story. Something about it was off. I can't really put a finger on it, but something about it just felt off as opposed to the original episode of the TV show. But I did enjoy segment 1, which is where you had the guy going to the bar. He starts spouting off at the mouth all this racist stuff and gets told off by it. Then he exits the bar and, he steps in there to the Twilight Zone, and now he's in fucking World War II time, and you get the Nazis chasing after him and trying to kill him. And basically what they're doing is they're taking his bigotry that he has towards anybody that's not white, and they flip it on him. Now he's the one that everybody's being a bigot towards. And you get to go there, and you go to Vietnam, and then you go to, the KKK rally or whatever. The KKK people try to kill him, and so do the American soldiers. It was a really enjoyable segment. It was a very, very satisfying segment, because I felt like he got what he deserved in each little part of the segment. So I enjoyed segment 1 really well. Segment 2, which was directed by Steven Spielberg, wow. As short as it was so dreadful to get through. I felt myself... I ended up checking my phone throughout that segment. I just had no interest in it whatsoever. I don't know. I didn't find the story in the second segment to be very interesting, and I don't feel like it was directed very well by the standards of Steven Spielberg. That was really disappointing. That is what really drug down the film for me. But when we got out of that, we got to the third segment where you have the boy, and he's able to control everything with his mind and enslaves his family to basically give him whatever he wants, and he meets this girl who they become friends, and they go to the boy's house, and they meet the family who's entrapped because of his mental powers that he has. And it was actually a way more interesting segment than the second one. So I think this segment 3 might be my favorite segment in the movie. It was really well done, and even the animatronic, like, zombified rabbit, or I don't know if it was zombified, but this demonic-looking rabbit, the animatronics there looked really good. And it was very aesthetically pleasing to my eyes, because it was just very colorful, and the directing was really well done, and it was actually genuinely kind of creepy, which is what the Twilight Zone is known for. Now we get to segment 4, which is another adaptation of the famous episode of The Twilight Zone, where William Shatner's on the plane, and he sees the goblin on the side of the wing, and he thinks that the plane's going to crash, and then it ends up, everybody thinks he's crazy, everybody thinks he's a nut, and then when he gets off the plane, he is informed that the plane crashes. So, they didn't really translate that very well here. It just lacked the tension. It lacked the dread. The guy playing the main guy just did not do as good as William Shatner did. But, I mean, because that's William Shatner, and that guy knows how to act. This other guy, I don't feel like he was very, very good. And the ending of that episode, and just the ending of the film altogether, I did not find myself satisfied with. They tweaked a little bit. They tweaked it a little bit, and I was just really disappointed with the movie. But if I was to give it a rating out of 10, I give it a 5 out of 10. It had the first segment and the third segment are really good. It's that second segment and that fourth segment that were not very good. So, could I recommend this to you guys? I'll put it to you this way. If you're not a big fan of The Twilight Zone, if you're kind of like that purist of this TV show, I can't recommend it to you if you've not seen it. However, if you're just a casual fan looking for a sci-fi or horror or a thriller, and you've never seen this and you're curious about it, then I can recommend it to those people. But I had to kind of detach myself from the Twilight, fandom, Twilight Zone, not Twilight, fuck Twilight, but the Twilight Zone fandom a little bit. I had to kind of separate myself from it to try to get enjoyment out of this movie, and it halfway worked and halfway didn't. So yeah, if you're not like a diehard fan of the Twilight Zone, then, or if you're not a diehard fan of the Twilight Zone, I can recommend the movie to you if you just want a sci-fi thriller that is going to kill an hour and a half. So that's just my thoughts. I wasn't really a big fan of it, but it had its good parts. So I don't know. What do you guys think of the Twilight Zone movie? Did you like it? Did you not? Leave down in the comments. Make requests for movies that maybe I have not seen down in the comments. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.